All right, guys, welcome back to Survival Living here. So, looks like the political structure is throwing the race card around for their own agendas as far as illegal immigrants. Yeah, and the actions of. Now, before we get into this video, guys, I want to tell you right now, I don't care where you're from, as long as you come to this country legally and be a productive member of society and do the right documentation. Hey, welcome aboard. Glad you're American. But when you're not trying to assimilate yourself into this country correctly, and you're trying to do whatever it is that these people are doing, just not welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. J.D. Vance, the guy running for vice president if Donald Trump is elected president, made a statement, kind of a whole platform on Springfield, Ohio. They're in Springfield, Ohio, guys. They had like 20,000 boost in population, and they are all being claimed illegal immigration, illegal immigrants from Haiti, a bunch of Haitians. So decided to look into this because CNN and stuff are going on and on about fact checking this and fact checking that. It's freaking amazing. So let's go ahead and check this out. He's saying that people are having their pets, cats, ducks from the parks, squatters, and all this stuff being eaten. Their pets are being eaten in Springfield, Ohio, by the Haitian migrants. Also, there's claims that they're squatting, taking over people's houses and yards and things like that. The news media is CNN, and I do have clips for you guys, so bear with me. We can watch this together. They're saying that it's complete false. Yeah, and odds are this platform's going to give you a warning too on this. That is false. Fact check. They're saying that he started this conspiracy and there's no truth to it. Even the people, the city of Springfield, Ohio, says nothing's going on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I actually have footage of their town meeting where the residents of Springfield, Ohio, is speaking out against the Haitian population that is killing the ducks in the city, lopping off their heads, walking down the street, stopping traffic to gut fresh roadkill side of the road. People saying that they have squatters in their front yard. They're moving away because the influx population from these migrants that are not legal, they've been given protection, amnesty type of stuff, good old Biden administration. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. First, let's go ahead and clip in CNN talking about how all this is about race and nothing is actually going on. So go ahead and roll it up here for you guys.
Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is now pushing a bizarre conspiracy theory that is taking the right by storm. Tonight, CNN's Tom Foreman has fact-checked this claim about Haitian immigrants abducting and eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. Tom?
Hey, Abby, even in the toxic political climate of our times, this is a wild claim. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, who has railed about a large influx of Haitian immigrants into the rather middle-sized town of Springfield, Ohio, posted, "Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country." And this claim, which focuses on kittens and ducks, has exploded in the far-right echo chamber, amplified by the Trump campaign, conservative commentators, Senator Ted Cruz, Donald Trump Jr., Elon Musk, and more. They are saying and or implying if you elect Vice President Kamala Harris, her immigration policies will put your pets at risk. But to be clear, this allegation against these immigrants is patently false. A far-right fever dream which could easily prey upon racist and xenophobic fears. According to Springfield city officials, there is no foundation for any of this. In a statement, they said, "We wish to clarify that there have been no credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. Additionally, there have been no verified instances of immigrants engaging in illegal activities, such as squatting or littering in front of residents' homes. Furthermore, no reports have been made regarding members of the immigrant community deliberately disrupting traffic." Abby?
Tom Foreman, thank you for that. I mean, it's amazing because those citizens are hearing conspiracies and then they're calling J.D. Vance's office, and instead of telling them, sir, ma'am, this isn't true, he's tweeting that it's true and it's not. One other thing.
We finally found cat ladies that J.D. Vance does not hate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's
I guess it
kind
all
of
just comes
ridiculous the
full
amount of
circle.
time we have spent in the last 8 weeks and with this campaign since J.D. Vance got elected talking about cats.
Not to mention RFK's bear cubs or whatever he got.
Well,
And the
you know,
worm.
I was reading a story in NPR about this town, and yes, they've received, a couple thousand, many thousands of migrants into a town that's been losing population. But the story talks about the migrants attending mass, because they're devout Catholics. I mean, and then you have this kind of conspiracy. I mean, it is racist. And then you have this kind of conspiracy. I mean, it is racist.
So, according to them, it's all BS. It's a platform conspiracy on hate. Would you guys like to hear from the actual residents of Springfield, Ohio? I know I do. Let's go ahead and check out what they're saying and check out the date on this too. One of the things that CNN was trying to spin is that the residents are saying this stuff because of what J.D. Vance said on his platform. This is back in August is when they were having their town meeting. If I'm correct, this was predate J.D. Vance's statements. So let's go ahead and get into this here.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard, and I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me?
Now that is the first one, and I got a couple more here for you guys. We're going to go ahead and break all this stuff down, so stick with me. That's about the squatters. Yeah, they're throwing mattresses and arguing and everything else, making the residents of the town feel unsafe in their own town. These people have their homes. They've lived there for many, many years. Everything they invested in is there. Now they're talking about having to move away because they don't feel safe anymore. Next up is the big one, the ducks. Yeah, the ducks in City Park. Now I will say this much, guys. There was. I'm gonna let you watch this thing right fast, and then we're gonna break it down. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got to say.
You guys are just sitting up there in suicide. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... They flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them and it's going to get bigger and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is.
So yeah, the ducks. All right. Now they're spinning off like, hey, nothing's going on, according to City Hall and things like that. And there's something else I want to show you guys on that as well. Why they're allowing things to happen. Makes you wonder about a lot of things. But the ducks, cutting off the duck's head and all that stuff. When I was a train rider, I was in Whitefish, Montana, and there's a big train museum there and stuff. It's where all the train riders stop. I was an actual hobo there for about a year and a half. There there's all kind of groups on trains. Some of the newer, younger generation groups decided to walk up to the park, which had ducks and stuff, and decided to kill the ducks and decided to use them as hacky sacks, dead bodies. Well, of course, the town got extremely ticked up over this. So now when you, as a train rider, when you hit Whitefish, you better get out of there, get to Kalispell, and hang out there because they don't welcome you there. But as long as you're an illegal immigrant that's protected, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. I also wanted to point out the guy had spoke on services, welfare, food stamps, stuff like that, for American citizens. That's what it's for, American citizens, taxpayers, people that actually are citizens here, not be able to get services because all the migrants have got access to it over the American people. Yeah. So, moving on, next one is the roadkill. Yeah, gutting roadkill. Now, I'm from the country, guys, and I may have or may not have accidentally hit a deer going to work 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, jumps across the road, and I'm not just going to leave it lying in the field or something like that. No, it's fresh kill. I'm gutting it and quartering it, and it's going in the trunk. Is this a situation like that? I don't know, but apparently none of this is happening, but the residents have other things to say.
Just all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language. I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using up the resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them. And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work. People living their life here the way they did in Haiti, angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill, lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public. Making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop.
So, there's 3 examples from the town hall meeting. That is in Springfield, Ohio. Now, why are they allowing this stuff to happen? Like I said, I was doing a lot of research in this, and one of the biggest things I saw, well, let me go ahead and clip it right here for you. This is going to be a business owner that loves that the Haitians are there to work.
It started slowly. We had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle components.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They don't have a drug problem. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
And there you have it. Bingo. They are there on time every day. They are not on drugs. They work at their machinery all day long. They get their quota numbers, and he wishes that he had more. Yeah, he wants that dirt cheap labor. That's exactly what that is. Now, of course, the bigger agenda is the mix and match for the immigration stuff with the Biden administration, get those extra votes. I mean, they keep on pushing, and I actually believe that some states are actually really thinking about or have actually done it, that illegals are now allowed to vote in the election. I need to do more research on that because I think there is a state that actually allowed that. Could be wrong. It may have been something I heard in passing. I hear a lot of stuff, and I just never have time to fully look into everything. So, yeah. Just wanted to get that information out there for you guys because I see the push and we got to block everything. It's not fitting our agenda, and odds are this video got hit too because they don't want that information out there at all. By the way, guys, all videos that I sampled from are in the description, so please feel free to watch them in their entirety. I just took the information that I needed for the story and brought it to you, but I didn't twist it around in any way. I just put in my own words and them saying things. Big difference between a lot of people here on YouTube. They like to just grab a tidbit of information, twist the storyline around, you know, kind of like the left. And there you go. You will be able to find this information in the description, guys. Please, guys, keep prepping. I do not know what's going to happen with the country. Everything from war, way too much stuff going on with Russia right now, to our own country. You know, there's actually threats right now being reported, and there's a lot of dates out there right now, and I don't like doing dates because you just don't know. You know, a lot of this stuff is open source information, but there's possible attacks coming here in America. I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in it when I see dates, but the threat's real. And because there's threats, we prepare. Anyway, guys, hope you found this video informative. I don't really like jumping on the political bandwagon, but I see more and more of this censorship going on. And I'm seeing a lot of what's the word? Next big topic YouTubers. And I don't mean here in our prepping community YouTubers. I'm talking about the ones that got you got the pretty girl with a big old bouncing around talking about, oh no, this is all fake. And I see a lot of influencers, big influencers, running with a storyline from CNN. They're not covering the actual truth behind it. This stuff is happening there in Springfield, Ohio. The residents are speaking out, yet their voices are being crushed. All right, guys, keep prepping. Speak to y'all later.